Ladies and gentlemen, this is David Carter reporting from the Los Angeles County Clerk office at the downtown courthouse. And for CBS News, I can report to everyone by this radio link that we are being told presently the jury has returned with a guilty verdict regarding the shooting of Dave Seville by Alvin, the chipmunk. Of course, everyone remembers it was in December of 1965 that this happened, and the only thing we know to this day is it's either a mental scenario of him losing it, or if maybe it was just a hatred for an individual. These two stipulations are what the jury had to decide, whether it was mental or if it was a hate crime between Alvin and Dave. And we're not getting too much information from the reporters inside because they're under a stipulation of secrecy. They had to sign that to say they wouldn't discuss the case other than to give us some basic facts of what the decision was. It's very unlikely after I do this report that anyone's going to hear about it again, because the judge has stipulated to the networks that after the initial report's done, nobody's to talk about it anymore. And that's from actually the FBI and the Department of Justice is saying that they want this clamped down. They don't want anybody talking about it anymore. So that's where we stand right now, Walter. We don't know anything more except that Mr. Fitzroy, who is the state attorney for the Los Angeles State Attorney's Office, has said to me personally off camera that Alvin was he was out of it. They've got him on sedation, and he wasn't aware, I think, of what the jury found as far as the verdict. But whatever you can say, this case is a bizarre tragedy, and it's only grace that really saved Dave Seville himself from being killed, because we're talking point-blank range, Walter, when he shot those bullets at him, and for Dave to come out of this is a miracle. So if we can get a chance to talk to any of the attorneys, the defense, or the state attorney's office, we will come back, Walter. Otherwise, this is David Carter reporting from Los Angeles for CBS News Radio on the verdict of guilty of Alvin the chipmunk, who attempted to murder Dave Seville in 1965 on Christmas morning. So I take it back now to Walter Cronkite. Thank you. This is David Carter reporting by phone from the Los Angeles courtroom. Right now we are waiting outside for the majority of the defense and the attorney's office to come out with their reactions to what happened in regards to the judge's decision of his final determination on Alvin's case. They're not saying much to us, but I believe, Walter, that the judge went with the jury's decision about this. They said that the judge took their recommendations to heart and that he agreed with it. That's what they're telling me right now, but they're still inside the courtroom. Oh, okay, here comes Mr. Fitzroy right now. Mr. Fitzroy, this is David Carter for CBS News. What is your personal feelings about what happened today? Do you think that the judge was correct in his decisions about Alvin?
I can only tell you that the state feels that the judge made the right decision. We were actually trying to get the death penalty, but the judge decided that in this case it was best that Alvin be given medical treatment and care. It was the jury's actual recommendation today that I think probably has already predetermined what the judge is going to rule in the next 2 weeks regarding this case.
Mr. Mr. Fitzroy, let me ask you another question. What is your opinion of really Alvin's reaction itself? I mean, I know you were there in the courtroom watching this, and we're not getting very much of any details from the other attorneys because, there are gag orders under full effect here by the judge, and this could be the only chance we'll ever have to ask you. Do you think he mentally was aware of what the judge said to him at the time that the verdict was handed down? What is your opinion?
I looked in Alvin's direction when the jury gave their verdict, and I can tell you he was so heavily medicated by whatever they're giving him that I didn't see any response in his face or otherwise. I don't think he's really even aware of what's happened today. But his attorney will probably explain it to him, I'm sure. If not, the doctors who are actually giving him this medicine will probably have many opportunities to discuss it with him during the therapy sessions they're already treating him.
On that basis, also, some people are leaking out the fact that Alvin was removed from the courtroom during the trial. Now, if that's true, Mr. Fitzroy, do you think that it's a fair trial that he is not always in court hearing testimony from his peers and they're making the decision they made in this verdict? Or do you think maybe he was he taken out for other reasons besides it just being that maybe the court was saying things that y'all didn't feel he should hear? Why was he removed, or was he removed from court?
Yes, he was placed in isolation on several occasions during the trial. He was very adamant and arrogant about thinking that his status as a celebrity gave him special position within the case to really just behave any way he wanted to, and the judge told him from the beginning, you're not going to do it here, and he's not getting any special treatment. So that's why a lot of times he just kind of blew up at the judge, and he blew up even at his own attorney about it. So eventually he was just taken away by the sheriff's office, and the last couple of weeks of the trial he was already being sedated, and they had him in isolation even then because he was having fights with some of the other inmates, and they just, they were at each other's throats about this whole thing. So I can't say really what is his mental status as far as is he mentally ill? I don't know. Is he faking the whole thing? Is he really just making it up? We don't even know that. So it's anyone's guess. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Fitzroy, for allowing us to talk with you.
Just a moment, please. Mr. Cochran, this is CBS News. We're live on the air by phone here. Can you tell us what your opinion is about the judge's decision?
I personally think that the decision that was made by the judge was a serious failure of our judicial system. I don't think the chipmunk we knew as Alvin is the same person we know today, and I will go as far as I can, even to the state Supreme Court, to try and appeal his decision. But I don't know whether or not I'll really have any fighting chance. I mean, this is a very highly publicized case.
Yes, sir, Mr. Cochran. Let me ask you also, what is your opinion about Alvin's reaction to the verdict that was given today? Do you believe that he is mentally aware of his surroundings? What sort of facial response did you get from Alvin?
No, he was pretty much just docile. They have him on a lot of medicine because of the violent reactions he was giving the judge during the case. And all I can say to your radio and television audience is that Alvin is highly sedated, and they have taken him back to jail, and I know he'll be there during the sentencing phase when the judge makes his recommendation, but he just hasn't been cooperating with me.
I know the process is going to be very, very long, Mr. Cochran. Can you tell us, please, what is your assumption of the amount of time involved in proceeding with the initial appeal? I mean, are you going to be able to do it quick, or is it going to just be a long, drawn-out process of going through paperwork? And, I mean, how long do you think?
No, I have no idea how long the appeal process could take. It could be years. We're just going to go one step at a time on that.
Well, on behalf of CBS News, we thank you, Mr. Cochran, for allowing us to discuss this with you, and I know you want to get back to to your office and to proceed the next step, so thank you for allowing us to talk with you, Mr. Cochran. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Walter, there's nothing more. They're talking about it just in very, very generalizations. If we can hear anything or find out anything else from the jury, I'm sure they're not going to talk, but we'll stay on top of this, and if anything else news breaking comes in, we'll get back with you, Walter. This is David Carter from Los Angeles.
We'll be back in 10 seconds to allow all our stations to identify themselves and to join the network.